Welcome back. This is the second part of the video series where I'm studying the evolution of the creatures, or the adaptation or the microevolution of the creatures to consume different food sources. And as we can see here in a small map, we have planted different seeds on different islands. We have these two islands, and on the left hand side island there's a lot of cane growing and no leaf plants growing. And if we select another layer, the leaf plants, we can see that it's opposite. There's a lot of leaf plants growing on the right hand side island. But now it's time to create some life, and we use species generator to generate a new species. And here you see a lot of different biological concepts. I'm not getting into more details about these concepts in this video. I just press generate species, and here we go. We have created new species called Metis hamus inferior, and now it's time to press submit. And now when I click, I submit 50 eggs. So let's add 50 eggs here, and then go back and put 50 eggs on the other island as well. So now at the moment we have the same species with the same genome living in two different islands. And slowly the creatures, they start to hatch and then start to live in there. And at the moment we could check the category nutrition and the creature's ability to use cane as a food source. So you have to remember that on the left hand side island there's a lot of cane growing, and on the right hand side there's no cane growing at all. And now here on a small map, I can enlarge it, you can see that the color is reddish, which means that they consume cane very well. So it's a gradient. If it turns greenish or bluish, it means they cannot use cane at all. Then they are adapted using leaf plants only. But okay, I can speed up the simulation now to make the evolution happen a bit faster. We can follow the small map or check occasionally what the exact creatures are doing. But I leave it now for a moment and I'll get back in a minute. Okay, now the simulation's been running for almost an hour, so 56 minutes. And as we can see here in a small map, the color is still pretty reddish as it was in the start. And what is happening at the moment, we can pay attention that there's a lot of creatures living here. There's huge packs of creatures living on the left hand side island, where the creatures have a lot of cane to eat and they consume cane very well. It's very reddish. And then on the other hand side, the population's getting smaller and smaller all the time. So I paused the simulation and started making the video again, because it seems that the population on the right hand side island might extinct very quickly. But so it seems that they just won't get adapted using the leaf. They have a lot, and that's why they don't do that well as the other population on the other island. But we can study the same situation also graphically, and I want to show you the graphical representation of the same situation. So I mark creatures living on this island, and I check the graphical representation of the same thing. So we have the nutrition, cane utilization, and as we can see here, it was a bit on the right hand side when we started it. So the adaptations, there's been some adaptation close to the average, so it's very Gaussian style, the graphics at the moment, and males and females look pretty much the same. If we refresh, it stays almost the same. So we can study the same thing also graphically, and we can check also, we can check also the situation on the other island, mark the creatures on the other island, and check what has happened to them. Refresh. Okay, it looks very much the same, and for no surprise, because it's the same species, and they have the same genome in the beginning. Okay, evolution is unpredictable, and my assumption, my hypothesis is that this pack of creatures living on the right hand side island will extinct sooner or later, and as we know, extinction is the rule and survival is an exception. The simulation's been running now for more than 4 hours, and to my surprise, the other population on the right hand side island is still alive. They get enough food to live, and I just paid attention to a very interesting evolutionary change. If you look at the small map, it describes if the populations have sting or not, and we can see that on the right hand side island every creature has a sting, and almost the opposite has happened on the left hand side island. Here only a few have developed the sting. There's always a big trade-off using the sting, but this is pretty interesting evolutionary change in this simulation. But yes, now I need to go to work and stop the simulation, or I can leave the simulation running but stop making the video. See you next time. Bye.